Welcome back, guys. So before we move further into our topics, let's discuss few miscellaneous things which you need to know when you are working with automation code. Okay. So first thing, how to format and align the code when you are working with Eclipse IDE. Okay, I am getting some feedback from my students saying that trainer is not following proper format and alignment while writing the code in the lectures. Okay, so what I exactly mean here is when I am teaching something, so I seriously concentrate on explaining the things to my students. And okay, so keeping my concentration on explanation, so I really don't consider this formatting and all stuff. But I know some students do not like seeing the code like this is some example. Okay, so you might see this code later, or it's specific to, I just randomly took one example here. So some people may not like me giving spaces like this and writing one step completely left side and one step completely right side and giving this gap. So basically, not only me, so when you are in school, when your teacher explains something on board, they draw completely, fill up the board with all the details, but they don't specifically write point 1, point 2, or point 3. It's because when we are in the mood in explaining something, my concentration will be only on how that is reaching to students. So sometimes I miss my focus on formatting the code, but yes, there is a way to do that. So yeah, I respect student opinion. So I just want to show that there is simple shortcut in Eclipse to auto format your code. Okay, so in real time also, when people are working, so people first focus on code and the logic to make it work. So they really don't care about how they write, but at the end, once everything is done, if you want to format the code properly from Eclipse, you have to use this key Control Shift F. Okay, you have to hold Control and Shift buttons and click on F. You see that how this got formatted? Okay, so basically I clicked on C, Control plus Shift plus F. That formatted me like this. You see that all the spaces are gone and this looks very neat. What is our previous code? Let me undo this again. Okay, when you undo, I have in a different fashion. So I can take you one more example. Probably this. Okay, yeah. I think this is already in formatted mode, but let's say that if I write a code without taking care of my formatting stuff or anything like this, so it gives us a correct value. Okay, so let me write this. Yeah, assume that your code is like this and you need to format this based upon once an entire code is completed. So Control Shift F, you see that format got changed. So this will give you in the neat code alignment. Okay, so when you need this in real time, you need this because once you complete your coding and once you complete your automation test, you will raise a pull request to merge this code into your develop branch. So that's how it generally happens in real time. So when you raise a pull request, someone has to approve your code. Okay, it's just not that you write a code and it goes through the branch. Someone has to look your code and approve. So that time they may ask you to format your code if it is in junky fashion. Okay, so before you raise a pull request to someone to see from Eclipse, just remember Control Shift F and it takes care all the formatting. Okay, so please forgive me if I really don't care about formatting in my lectures. It's just because I'm more focusing on logic and making my students to understand instead of formatting, and you can just use this keyword to make that work. Cool. So I will write here Control Okay, so Word is hanged as usual when I have multiple softwares. Control uh, plus shift. Okay. Now, one more important thing which which you need to know is naming conventions in defining class, variable, and method names. There is one industry standard called camel case standard which you need to follow when you are defining this class name, variable name, and method name. Let me tell you. So this is your class, right? M112. So whenever you write a class name, whenever you define a class name, make sure the first character is capital letter and all the remaining are small letters. Okay, this is very important when you write a class name. Okay, so let me show that. Okay, so here you see a miscellaneous. Class name is capital. So here class name is small. This is not ideal case, and I can show you a few other things where I have written. Yeah. Okay, so just in case if you are writing anything, make sure you have class name capital. And next is when you define a variable name should always start with small letter. Okay, for example, when I say string name, it should be like this, but not n is. This is not allowed. Okay, this is wrong. You have to do like this. Variable name should always start with small letter. For example, if it is like mouse pad, how do you define this variable name? This is wrong. First word is mouse here, right? That should be small letter, but P should be capital. Okay, mouse pad. This is how it should be. So I do have an example of QuickBus where I can show that. Give me a second. I think it's table access. Yeah. Yeah, you see that row count. Okay. So here Eclipse is giving a warning with yellow symbol because this standard is wrong. Variable name should start with small letter. That is sure. Class name should start with capital letter. That is fine. But when you have multiple words in your variable name, all the subsequent words should start with capital letter. Okay, so C should be caps. And you see that? Okay, this is ideal case. So this is how you have to take care. This we can say as a camel case standard, which we use frequently. You see, this is right again. Extras value. When there is an variable like this, it should start with small letter, but next word V should be capital letter. And this is wrong. T should be small letter here. And you see, next word is sum, which is capital. And again, next word is V, which should also be capital. All subsequent words should start with capital letter, but first letter should be small letter. Okay, so this you have to remember when you are actually defining naming conventions to your variables class name, and same thing applies to method name as well. Same logic of what we saw for variables. Okay, if you have any method of row count, you have to define like this. But complete opposite of this is for class. Okay, for classes, if you have two words like this table exercises, first one should be capital T and all remaining should be small letters. Okay, so this naming conventions also matters. Okay, in industry standard people use camel case. So whatever I told you now comes under this camel case. So, and make sure when you define class, variable or method name, you follow these naming conventions. And again, forgive me if I don't follow this in my lectures, because as I said, I am just in explaining something, but just remember, this is not really focused, which you need to be focused. Whenever you write a code, at the end, before you push your code into branch, just make sure you follow format your code and see if they have proper naming conventions. Okay, that looks a very neat way of writing the code. All right, good. So one last topic before I wrap up this miscellaneous stuff. How to debug the code in Eclipse. Interesting. Let's say this. Let me undo all this so that, okay. Let me go back to here. Let's say if I want to debug the code, when I say debugging, you can execute step by step and you can watch the result. Okay. So when you run, normally whole test runs, right? But you can pass the script at one particular point, and from that point you can continue execution step by step by watching your execution from here. Okay, if you are not really aware of debugging, this demo will help you to understand this. For example, I want to put a debug at this point. Okay, right now there's already debug. Let me remove this. Okay, I want to put a debug at this line so that I want to watch my execution step by step from this point. Okay, something is failing, so I want to stop my script here. When I say stop, it's pass. I want to pass my test here. From here onwards I have to monitor. If that is the case, right click and set toggle breakpoint so that your script will pass here when you run the test through debugging mode, and from there you can debug step by step. Okay, so right click and you say run this test. Instead of run as, now select as debug as. Okay, so debug as Java application, and let's see what happens. Wherever you put the debug point, script will get passed there. It will only continue on your permission. So if you get any errors in your test, this is a right way to debug and understand on which line it is failing and how application is behaving with that line execution. Okay, that's the common thing where we use in real time. Okay, so execution started, but it has to stop here, right? So once the browser is open and your control will come here and your script will get passed. Let's see how it happens. You see that browser is opening and good, and now your script will obviously get passed at this point. Let's see. You see that? Just click on yes so that you will be switched to the debugging mode. Okay, perfect. You will be switched to debugging mode like this, and you see that this line is highlighted. That means our test got passed here, and that's why Facebook.com is not yet hit on the browser because we just halted our test here. Now, if you want to watch this execution step by step, then step over. When you say step over, it executes this step and your control will get passed again at the next step. Okay, so I'll click on this step over. Okay, now Eclipse executed this Facebook.com step, so this will be loaded in your browser, and again test will stop after completing this step, and it will get passed again at the line number 26. Let's see. Yeah, you see that it's still loading. So once it stopped the loading, then you will see that browser. Yeah, you see that again. Now line moved to the next step and it's on 26th line. And now when you move your cursor on this driver, you can see all the object related stuff, like what is the capabilities and everything, right? Now again, say step over, or F6 is a shortcut where your test will move one more line. Yeah, you see that it just moved one, executed and moved to next step. So that means FSFD should be entered in our email. You see that it entered. Perfect, right? So this is how you can debug and watch execution step by step. And if your script is failing every time at this point and you don't have any idea why it's going wrong, you can debug like this and understand what's happening by passing your test. Okay. Now, so you can continue step by step like this. But when you thought that you are debugging, you understood the root cause and you want to execute further script without debugging mode. Okay, if you want to switch your debugging mode, just say resume so that it will execute in normal fashion. Okay, so it will complete the execution and it won't stop. But if you put again breakpoint somewhere, it stops at that point. For example, you are at this point, right? I'll put a debug at this point. Okay, so when you say step over, it will go to the next step. But if you want to resume your execution, this will say that don't stop, continue. But when I say don't stop only when there is no further breakpoint. If there is any further breakpoint, stop it there. So in our case, there is no further breakpoint till line number 32. So when you run this resume, it will directly go and continue its execution, but at 32 again it will get passed. But if you don't have any breakpoint further, it will complete your test execution. Okay, that's what this resume means. So you can jump from one breakpoint to another breakpoint without moving step by step. But if you want to move step by step, you have to give this F6. Okay, please remember this. Now, whenever there is a method, instead of single line, if there is a method, and if you want to go inside that method and debug there, then you have to use step into, so that code will go inside the method. Okay, so it's up to you now if you want to execute inside the method. Alright, so now I put a debug at line number 32, right? And I'll click this resume and see what happens. It's going to google.com because we have asked it here to hit Google browser, and you see that script stopped at this point. So it's again in past there because our debugging is there. Now, what is the next step? If you want to move step by step again, this will go to the next step. But if you want to continue again, script execution will be done because there is further no more debugging points, and you see that execution is completed. So that's how you can debug your test case. Interesting, right? So you can also watch the variables. Let's say int a equals to 5, something I'm defining here, and I will wrap up this in a method. Give me 1 second. So I would show how to go inside a method as well. So I'll define a method public static void get screenshot and I would put get. Basically I am creating method, and this I'll pass the driver method inside it, so that WebDriver. Perfect. Move your cursor and say add throws declaration. Right. So same code I have wrapped in one method and I have passed that method here. Now I want to put a breakpoint at line number 30 directly. Okay. So just want to show how step into works. So right, if you want to disable breakpoint again, just right click on that and say disable, so that will be vanished out. Give me a second, this got hanged again. So this latest version is breaking, I think. I am really facing a lot of problems. So I think I can pause the video for a second. Right, so you can right click and disable the breakpoint, and you can put it at get screenshot, and you can also disable here, but let it be here. After here I will click on resume, so directly it jumps to this point. Okay, so let me run this test again. Debug as Java application, click on OK. Yep, so Chrome is trying, I think it's, yep, browser is opening, and you will see the result here, and now you will come up with that debug window. To switch perspective, just click on OK. Yep, so click on yes, and now you are in this, you have not still hit facebook.com, right? So my next debug at this line, so I'll resume my execution, and now it will hit a Facebook, and it goes to email, send the keys, maximize the browser, delete all the cookies, store the variable phi in A, and then reaches the point of get screenshot, and then it stops there. You see that? Right, so it stopped at this point. Now let me pull down this. I want to show you something here. Variables. If you watch this carefully, watch out this section. So here a value is 5, right? At runtime you can see what is the value stored in this a value. Though you are writing here, but in your script this could be get text. Okay, so driver.find element somewhere.get text, and that value will be stored in a, right? So if you want to see that what is stored in a, you can see this at runtime. On right side, keep an eye on this variables, so you will see what all the values are stored here. If it is get text, if you are pulling something from your browser, that value you can see if you put that in a variable a. So this is one cool thing that you have with debugging. At runtime you can also see how the variables are stored with the values. And now, so if you click step over, this method will execute and it comes to next line. But if you say step into, okay, this one, your debugging will go inside this method and stops at this point 42. Okay, so that's what I told in my earlier debugging run, that if you want to execute this method on one single shot and to come out, you can use this, but I'll click this, so this goes inside this block. You see that? By clicking step into, we are stepping into that method. And again, from here you can simply say again step over, so that it executes step by step. So I just demonstrated this run just to see how that debugging can be gone into the method with the help of this step into, and hereafter there is normal step over. Alright, I hope you are very clear with when this. If you want to resume your execution without waiting on debug, just click on resume and that will complete your test. Yes, your test is completed. Alright, so that's how you can debug with your Eclipse code. This could be Selenium, this could be REST API, Appium, Cucumber, anything. Any Java code, the debugging method is same. Okay, there is no special debugging for Selenium or any other tool. If you write some Java code in Eclipse, and whatever I told now matters. Alright, so that's pretty much about how to debug and how to format your code with simple shortcut key, and how to write a naming conventions when you define class, variable and method names in Java. Okay, so that's all I have for this lecture. I hope this will really help you in your workplace to keep the coding standards. Thank you guys.